to Roots and Roofs, where we explore the intersection of motherhood and entrepreneurship in the real estate world. I am your host, Mackenzie Shelton. Join us as we dive into the unique journey of balancing family life with owning a thriving real estate business. Each episode, we will uncover inspiring stories, practical tips, mindset conversations, and expert insights from others who are carving their paths in the real estate industry. Whether you are a seasoned realtor, a prospective buyer, or simply curious about the dynamics of managing both home and career, Roots and Roofs is your go-to podcast for heartfelt discussions and invaluable advice. Tune in and discover how these incredible women are building deep roots from the ground up while nurturing their families under the same roof. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Roots and Roofs. I am Mackenzie Shelton, and I am your host. And today I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about creating leverage in your business. I think that this topic is important because as we scale up in our business, things tend to kind of change both personally and professionally. So I wanted to spend some time just kind of talking about how you can get back more of your time, make more money, and ultimately create less stress for yourself. So let's get into it. As a mother and business owner, you're constantly juggling priorities, your children, your home, and your dreams of building a successful business. The biggest challenge, there are only 24 hours in a day, and often it feels like there is never enough time or energy to do it all. That's where creating leverage in your business comes into play. Leverage allows you to get more done with less effort, creating a business that supports your life rather than being taken over by it. By implementing the right strategies, you can build a business that generates more income while freeing up your time for what matters most, your family and your personal life. So, what is leverage in your business? Leverage in business means using systems, tools, and people to multiply your efforts and increase efficiency. Instead of relying solely on your time and energy, leverage allows you to work smarter, not harder. This typically leads to more income because your business isn't limited by how much you can personally do. More time, since tasks are automated or delegated, you have more space for your family and self-care. And less stress. As your business grows in a sustainable way, you feel more in control and less overwhelmed. So I'm going to just kind of go through a few ways that I have seen either myself or other people succeed in actually creating that leverage in your business. So number one would be to automate where possible. Time-consuming, repetitive tasks don't need to be done manually. Automate to free up your time. So a few ways that you can implement this. Use email marketing automation like MailChimp, or we use Flowdesk for email automation, or there's other programs like ConvertKit to nurture leads and send pre-written sequences. Set up social media scheduling tools such as Canva actually utilizes this. So we use Canva for this, but you can use programs such as Leader or Planoi to post content for you. And implement chatbots or autoresponders to answer frequently asked questions or direct potential customers. So I personally have not used this yet, but I have seen a lot of high producing people, either real estate agents or in other spaces. Like I know Jenna Kutcher talks about this a lot in her podcast, is using those chatbots to get people to the product that you're trying to actually sell to them. And I would say number two is delegate and outsource. You do not have to do everything yourself. And I feel like what I see with business owners is that everyone kind of has to learn this the hard way. I wish that there was a way around that for people, but it seems like everybody kind of just has to navigate their own burnout in order to understand that outsourcing tasks is really where you are able to level up in your career. So, outsourcing tasks that aren't your zone of genius really allows you to focus on what moves the needle in your business. And I would say that I think that this really kind of changes as your business evolves. So, just for me, when I first started in real estate, one of the things that I chose to outsource as I got busier was hiring a transaction coordinator. And although I was honestly really great at doing my own paperwork and didn't really hate doing it, it was one of those things that took up a lot of my time. And so by letting that go and letting someone else help with those things, I was able to actually focus on the things that were dollar producing activities within my business. And another example of this really is my husband and I in our kind of house flipping, rental business. My husband has had to kind of go through the process of understanding that he can't do it all. And so he does need, kind of part-time help with some of the things that we have going on so that he can prioritize his time in other places. And it's the same reason that I don't really clean our rentals anymore. We outsource that because really that's not the best use of my time. So, just a couple ways to implement this depending on what your business is. So, hire a virtual assistant for admin tasks, email management, or customer service. Our team utilizes a virtual assistant for all of our transaction coordinating now. Work with a freelancer for content creation, design, or bookkeeping. You guys, as you scale up your business, like all of this stuff is going to happen, or you are just not going to have enough hours in the day to actually do all of these things. Get household help. This was something that was really hard for me to wrap my head around until 2020, when I had a year where it was my best personal year in real estate. And I just looked at my husband and was like, I don't have enough time and I don't want to be an insane person about keeping our house clean. So at that time, that was when we hired a house cleaner to come once a month. And my philosophy behind it, honestly, guys, is that for at least a couple hours, my house is spotlessly clean, right? There's no clutter. There's the floors are clean, the carpets are clean, the countertops are clean, everything is put back in its place. And so for at least a couple hours every single month, my house is what I would consider perfect. I've had to lower that standard a little bit over time with having 4 kids and a busy life, but for the most part, my house is at least perfectly clean for a couple hours. And I would say also probably the other thing that has been very helpful is utilizing grocery pickup. So I don't do this every single week, but I do this as often as I possibly can, because really for me to go spend, 45 minutes to an hour in a grocery store, is that the best use of my time? Not really. And grocery service is free after, so many dollars. So it's like, why not just have somebody else to do the shopping for you? And I've also learned that when I do this, I don't spend too much money. I'm buying exactly what I need for the meals that we need to prepare and, the essentials that we have. And I'm not going, oh, that's on sale, or, oh, that looks really good. Or if I go into the grocery store hungry, I'm not buying, a bunch of extra stuff. So I really do think it's not only a really good use of time, but it's also a really good use of, our money, I guess, because I'm not then buying a bunch of extra stuff. Okay, so number three would be to create scalable offers. So if your business only makes money when you are working, it's time to create leveraged income streams. So a couple ways to implement this. Offer digital products, ebooks, courses, templates that can be sold repeatedly with little extra effort. So you create them, you can sell them again, you can roll them out in a new fashion. Some of those things can be really great ways to basically create income for yourself year over year over year with something that really just took you the initial amount of time to create. Build a membership or subscription model for recurring revenue. So we don't really use this a lot in real estate, but I see this with a lot of content creators or actually a lot in like the homesteading space, people creating memberships or subscription model for different products or courses that they're creating. And then I would say set up affiliate marketing or joint venture partnerships to earn commissions passively. So because I also run a blog, I do this and it has honestly made me money over the last couple of years. So I would highly encourage you that if you are in a business where that is going to work, definitely implement that. And the fourth thing is implement your workflows. So streamlining how you do things eliminates wasted time and makes your business more efficient. So a couple ways to implement this would be to batch create content instead of switching tasks constantly. Our admin actually uses this to a pretty high level, and she has gotten even better with this over time. But literally, for her to go and create some of the content that we have on our social media pages, if she spent every single day doing that, that would not be the best use of her time because she's probably getting pulled in 50 different directions. So if she just sets aside a few hours a week or, one day a month to batch create content, that's a way better use of her time. Use project management tools. So we actually use Monday.com on our real estate team for all organization and streamlining processes. So any checklists that we have created, any big projects that we are working on, everything gets put into Monday.com. And then definitely set work boundaries. Okay, so I'm talking mostly to the real estate agents because this is something that I think every real estate agent really struggles with is you don't really have set hours because people are needing to look at houses in the evenings and weekends. And so then all of a sudden, like you turn around and you're like, I've just worked for like the last 10 days straight. Even if you were not working a traditional 8-hour workday in that 10-day stretch, you ultimately don't get to like turn work off then for days on end. So creating boundaries looks like saying that you're not available for a few hours a day, or it's saying that you're taking every single Sunday off, no matter what is happening in the real estate world. You are using a showing assistant to have someone else meet with that client, right? It can look different for different people, but definitely setting boundaries early on will save you from major burnout. And I'm saying this from experience. So please just go do it. Invest in your growth. One of the best ways to leverage your time and efforts is through learning and mentorship. So a couple ways to implement this. Join a mastermind group or hire a coach to fast track your success. I think that every business owner, no matter what business you are in, should have a coach and or be a part of some sort of mastermind accountability group. I think that it is super important to catapult your success with being able to just bounce ideas and listen to somebody who has way more experience than you do. Invest in courses or books that teach you high impact strategies. So if you know me personally, or honestly, if you've listened to some of my past podcasts, like doing courses or reading self-improvement / business style books, that those kind of things are what has allowed me to kind of like keep the juices flowing for new ideas, new ways to create success, honestly, motivation when I am really, really struggling or in a hard spot. So definitely invest in those sorts of things and surround yourself with like-minded women who support your growth. So this has looked different for me over my career and the different things that I'm doing. But if you do not have people around you that are also trying to level up and create success within themselves, you're going to struggle because you're going to feel like you're doing it all by yourself. So just to kind of wrap things up here, imagine a business that runs smoothly without you constantly hustling. One where income continues to grow while you enjoy quality time with your family. By applying some of these strategies, you can step into the role of a CEO of your business rather than an overworked solopreneur. Start small, implement one of these strategies today, maybe implement another one in another month, and watch your business transform into a time and money generating machine while still allowing you to be the amazing mom or woman that you are. I will just kind of leave you with this final thought. As someone who runs a team and has agents on a team, I am constantly trying to help them gain leverage in their lives so that they can truly enjoy the things that are most important to them. So while this, kind of content seems like a no-brainer, when you are in the thick of being really, really busy, it's really hard for you to look up and get perspective on what is most important to you. So if you are in the thick of that, I would really highly recommend either hiring a coach or finding a group that is talking about these things that will help give you ideas on how to actually implement that leverage. Or, you know what, reach out to me on social media and I will be happy to give you free advice on whatever you are struggling with. Thank you so much for listening today. I am just absolutely blessed to do this podcast every couple weeks, every month. And I really appreciate you listening. And I hope that you take some of these strategies and go implement some leverage in your life so you can get some of your time back and less stress in your life. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to Roots and Roofs podcast today. If you loved today's episode, please let me know. I love hearing from you on Instagram and Facebook, so feel free to send me a DM or tag me in your stories so I can share it too. If you're looking for more information about today's topic, please visit my website, mahoganyacres.com, and all of the information that is listed in the show notes below. Until next time.